what's up you guys? It's the Curious Owl here, and today I have another book review for you. This book review is going to be on the book We Are All Made of Molecules by Susin Nielsin, and I'm going to apologize for my light right now because as you guys can probably tell, I'm back home, and so currently the light in my room is not really that bright. It's pretty dim, so I have to have some extra light, and my desk lamp is currently sitting right in front of me, so I had to like angle it up so that it wouldn't shine right in my eyes because that really hurts. So that's why there's this giant shadow here, so I apologize for that. So basically, how I got this book is really interesting. If you guys don't know, many of my friends and family know, I am a big writer. I love writing. It's something I really actually want to do with my life. And, so I am a part of this writing website called Figment.com, and I will leave a link in the description for my page on Figment with all of my stories that I've written since about the 8th grade. So I'm going to tell you the ones from 8th grade are really bad. I think I could go back and like rewrite them, but I don't even remember half of what I had even written. But anyway, so over the summer, they were having a contest where you had to write a flash piece, which is a piece of 500 words or less, on this prompt. And the prompt was, write about a character who will do absolutely anything to get what they want, which most likely was going to be like being popular. So I wrote a short piece about a girl who has social anxiety, and she goes on this trial medication to combat that social anxiety. Like, it was to the point where she could not go to school because she was so afraid of people and what they thought of her and how she was perceived and everything. And the actual people that run the website, they picked 10 stories out of all of the applicants that sent in their things, and I was one of them. So I was able to get a copy of the book that inspired the prompt, which is We Are All Made of Molecules by Susin Nielsin. And I was so excited when I found out that I won. I've never won a writing contest before, so I was so excited that actually something of mine was good and was able to win. So they mailed me this book. It's not autographed or anything, unfortunately, which I thought would have been really cool. But yeah. So basically, this book, it talks about two characters. There's Ashley, who's a 14-year-old freshman in high school, and Stuart, who is a 13-year-old boy who is a child genius, and he gets to go into high school early. How these two know each other is Stuart's father ends up dating Ashley's mother. And how this happens is basically Stuart he loses his mother. His mother passes away of cancer, and Ashley, her parents split up, and there's a big reason as to why, but she's so afraid she won't, she's afraid of everyone finding out that she doesn't tell anybody. She doesn't even mention it to her best friend, Lauren, who she's known since she was a little kid. Ashley is one of those characters where she's the most popular girl in school, and she is the dumbest person on the face of the earth. I'm not kidding you. So, you know those stereotypical, like, high school queen bees who are, like, just as dumb as a doornail? That is Ashley. Ashley, it's actually really funny how Susin Nielsin writes her, because she even like has her mess up on certain words that people have to correct for her because she's so stupid. But like many stereotypical high school girls who are the queen bees, they're the fashion queens. They know what they're doing when it comes to fashion, how to dress, and how to make clothes and everything, so she's got that going for her. Stuart, on the other hand, is, like I said, a child genius. Ever since he was about 3 years old, I think, his parents had realized that he was just beyond smart. And so they put him in this gifted school, and then when his mother passed away and his dad started dating Ashley's mother, they decided to move in with them, and so he had to leave his gifted school and is now going to Ashley's high school. And it's just, this whole story is basically these two together, Ashley trying to keep this secret from everybody and trying to basically distance herself from Stuart and everything to do with him because he's a dork. She doesn't want anything to do with him. And Stuart's just really trying to, like, be, just be a part of her life. And they basically come to the conclusion where they're both all made of molecules, so they have to somehow get along. That's not the end of the story, just so you know. That's not a spoiler. That's just something that, it's actually mentioned in the sleeve of the book. So, overall, my thoughts on this book, I think it is a really, really great book. Susin Nielsin really hit home with a lot of things that were in this novel. The theme that about death and family, especially like when losing a parent, like how dreadful that is for somebody. Finding out certain things about family members that kind of end up like splitting up a family. That's really hit home. That can really hit home for kids who are a part of divorce. There's also themes of friendship and family, and really just there's a lot of good things in it. I think I would consider it a middle grade YA kind of book. YA, for those of you that don't know, is young adult, and middle grade is for kids that are about in middle school. But yeah, I would say it's as low as middle grade because I think some of the things that are in this book, kind of like, it's like they're young enough to understand what this whole story is, but it's not too, like, it's not really too full of bad language. I mean, there is some foul language here and there throughout the book, but it's mostly the adults that say it. The story itself is really simple, and it's really kind of like, it's kind of in a way sometimes predictable, but not to the point where it's like this is just a middle grade book. Like there's some things that are completely unexpected you don't realize are happening. So that's why I would consider it a YA book. One of the things I really liked about this book was the fact that Susin Nielsin wrote these characters so well. Stuart is so adorable in this entire story. He's just like, I feel like I would be really good friends with him if I was in middle school, because growing up, I was really smart. I was involved in Quiz Bowl when I was in the 6th grade. I was a part of a lot of, I didn't take a lot of like hard classes, but I was pretty good at a lot of the classes I was in, even into high school. So I think I would really relate to him. And there have been times where I felt like I've been a loner in some classes, so I can understand that mentality. I can understand like how it is to feel like you're kind of on the outside, especially with the fact that he's a 13-year-old boy entering high school. That is a very scary concept for anyone. Like, so I can't imagine what it must be like to be a 13-year-old boy who is, or a 13-year-old kid for that matter, who is so smart that they had to end up waiting, like they had to, they can't wait to be in high school. They have to go right into high school early, and that's nerve-wracking because there's such a difference in maturity level and intellectual level between a middle schooler and a high schooler. Most of my friends from back home will understand this because our high school kind of shows that there's a difference in maturity level. And then as far as Ashley, you really learn to love her in the book, but honestly, she is like the dumbest person you will ever read. I'm not kidding. She's just so airheaded and just so like, oh my god, everything's surrounded around me. Susin Nielsin makes her so believable that you just want to like take Ashley and like strangle her because she's an idiot. So kudos to you, Susan, for doing that. Overall, I think this is a really great book for anyone that wants to read it. I really recommend it, though, for someone who's middle grade or YA. I think they would really get a kick out of it. There's a lot of elements that, especially for YA readers, like, they will understand, like, they will catch right away. I think a lot of people will really relate to Stuart that feel like they're alone, and a lot of people will relate to Ashley due to the fact that there's the whole divorce element with her parents. So yeah, I would totally recommend this to anyone. It's a great, great book. And yeah, so the next book that I will be reading is called The Lizzie Borden Murders, essentially. It's a crime non-fiction based novel surrounding around the Lizzie Borden murders that happened, I think, if I remember correctly, it was like sometime in the 1800s, 1900s. I can't remember exactly for sure. But yeah, if any of you have read Truman Capote's In Cold Blood, which I did when I was in high school, which was a great novel, by the way, I absolutely loved it. It's similar to that in the sense that it's kind of like retelling the story of what happened, but I think that there's a fiction-based kind of like idea behind it because it's like telling the story like in a different way, but incorporating like all of the actual evidence and stuff like that. So yeah, that'll be the next book I will be reading for you guys and doing a book review on. And yeah, so that is it for this book review of We Are Made of Molecules by Susin Nielsin. If you liked it, please do give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to the channel and become a little owlet in our flock. And I will see you guys all in my next video. Bye guys.